for today. First, let us see the assignment given yesterday. But before discussing the features of the spectrum, I would like to give some instructions. After I discuss about the spectrum, all the assignments submitted will not be considered. And one more important point is there are people who are struggling to interpret mass spectra. What I observed, many people who have not watched the video lecture and try to interpret or try to answer only the quizzes. I can able to see that from the questions they asked to me, because one participant asked this question, sir, can you give a molecular weight, then only I can able to calculate or apply the rule of 13 to calculate molecular formula. I think he has not watched that video lecture, because in the whole session we were talking about how to get molecular weight from mass spectra. The molecular weight is present in mass spectra, but he is asking me to give molecular weight. That means he has not watched that video. And another participant asked, I don't know how to interpret the mass spectra. What I have to do? I have not so far have interpreted. But in the previous lecture, we have been discussing how to interpret mass spectra. That was our primary aim. All these questions actually gives an impression that people are not watching that video lecture, and watch the video lecture, then ask the question, right? Then only I can able to give some reasonable answer to you. Otherwise, if you ask the same question, what is present in what is already discussed in several times in the video, if you ask that basic question to me, I don't know what answer I have to give, right? Therefore, it's my humble request to watch the video before attend the quiz. When you watch the video lecture fully, if you watch the video lecture completely, then there won't be any problem in attending the quiz or submitting the assignment, right? I think with this we shall move into, I request all of you to watch the video. And there are people who are doing very well, and they have answered as I expected, very clearly, as I explained in the video. And therefore, watching video lecture is very, very important for your progress. Then only you will not have any doubt. After watching the video, after encoding, then you ask the question, then I can able to give some reasonable answer to you, right? And leave that, we shall progress into today's topic today. And therefore, this is the spectrum I gave yesterday. I asked you to interpret the mass spectrum. I don't want you to say what is the compound. Not necessary. Not at all necessary. That's not required. That's not expected from you. The actual expectation is, wait a minute, I will include. Okay, that's enough. The actual expectation is, I would say the actual expectation is to find out the molecular weight. Very simple. Find out the molecular weight present in the molecule given in the. You can see here. You have to follow few. Be very careful in finding out the molecular. That's all. You find the molecular ion peak. The highest peak in the spectrum is called molecular ion peak. That's what we discussed. You can see there are several peaks here. Several peaks here. And all these peak, for example, here there is 124, right, is the highest peak. But I asked you to do not confuse with molecular, that is isotopic peaks, and if there is molecular end peak is missing, then you have to of a fragmentation peak. You should not misinterpret that the two idea I gave to identify molecular weight peak. But if you see the pattern, there are two peaks which are two mass with two mass difference between them. That means, and by seeing the pattern, it looks like isotopic peak, right? Like bromine. Okay, then what I have to do? I should not this peak at 124 is an isotopic peak. By the pattern itself, we can able to see that it is a bromine, because 50-50 abundance is there, almost 51-49% absorption, so I can able to find, and therefore the molecular weight is not 124, it is actually 122. That's what I wanted to. But you have now, by seeing this spectra, you come to a conclusion that the mass, what? The mass, molecular weight of the compound is 122. There is one peak at 124, which is the isotopic peak corresponding to bromine, and therefore this molecule contains bromine. This is one interpretation. The second interpretation, the molecular weight is 122, is enough, right? You can see, and here you can see there are small peak with light. That means these are all maybe due to loss of other groups. But when you see from 122 here around 43, and there is a loss of maybe 79, that is due to loss of bromine. All these things you can see. You need not say what is exactly the structure of the compound, not necessarily. Then using this molecular weight, you can predict what is the molecular formula. But now, and you apply the rule of 13. If you apply the rule of 13, then you can get a molecule. From that you subtract the 79, then you will get the remaining structure. Derive molecular formula. When you derive molecular formula, later you can derive the what? The double bond equivalent, that we will discuss in the coming. This is enough to interpret the other details. This is what expected. Let us see the second compound. This is the second compound I gave you, right? If you see this structure, you can see there is a, we can also see there is a peak at 125, 26, 27, 28, right? You can see a peak at 128 at the, that is the biggest or highest M by Z value, right? But that 128, it looks, if you compare the peak at it looks like an isotopic peak of chlorine, right? There 128 at 3 times 126 intensity is 3 times compared to the intensity at 128, and therefore the 128 is considered as isotopic peak of chlorine 37, and therefore the molecular weight of the compound would be 126. That's enough. And you have identified 226, then you can apply rule of 13 by subtracting the value of chlorine, because you have identified chlorine. You can get a molecular formula from that. That's enough. And you can see a base peak at around 90, right, 70, 89, 75, 80, 85, 86, no, what? 75, 80, 80, 85, 90, 91. You can see a peak at 91. As I have already studied, when you get a peak at 91, it is maybe all these things maybe maybe a tropylium ion peak. Tropylium ion peak. Therefore, there is a benzyl group possible, C6H5CH2. And if you see the difference between this 120, 120, you may get the value around 35, and this is due to the loss of chlorine. All this information you can derive. This is enough. This is what the interpretation is all about, mass spectra. That's enough. You need not derive the actual molecular formula, or you need not go beyond that, because right. And therefore, we have C6H5 CH2 group by seeing this. But you can make a guess, and therefore here it is C6H5 chlorine here, and you can make a guess it is C6H5 CH2Cl, and you may calculate the molecular weight for this structure. If around 126, then you have made a good prediction. Molecule, but it is a prediction which is very welcome, right? This is what expected from mass spectra, right? I think we can conclude. I was trying to also give answers for quiz, but there are people still attending the quiz, and therefore we will discuss the questions later, right, in the next session. I wanted to discuss, but people are attending, but once I did meaning in people attending the quiz, and therefore since people are attending, they are asking excuses later, and therefore I am not going to discuss the quiz here, right? We shall go into the next topic. The next topic is, topic for today is this: double bond equivalent or ring equivalent. We have studied how to calculate molecular formula from empirical formula. We have also studied how to calculate molecular weight from mass spectra, and we have also studied how to interpret the mass spectra. Now you can able to derive molecular formula. From the molecular formula gives another information called double bond equivalent or ring equivalent. What is this? The double bond equivalent, something wrong. Straight away it came to example. No. Wait. There is some mistake. Right, now you can see we are going to see the double bond equivalent or ring equivalent. What is double bond equivalent? The double bond equivalent is, it is a method to calculate the number of double bond present in the molecule or number of unsaturation from CnH2n+2 formula. If the number of carbon and the number of hydrogen is equal to the CnH2n+2 formula, the double bond equivalent will give you the value 0, or if anything less than that, it will give you the double bond equivalent. If the formula is applied to get the double bond equivalent, the result is not equal to exactly the number of double bonds. It is equal to the number of hydrogen reduced when double bond is formed. The number of hydrogen may also be reduced when a ring is formed. The number of hydrogen in the molecule is formed, and therefore this formula will not distinguish between double bond, triple bond or ring. This formula will give you only an indication that is equivalent to double bond. That's why we call it as a double bond equivalent. It is not exactly the number of a double bond. It is an equivalent value of a double bond. It may be, the result may imply a number of double bond, or it may imply the number of ring, or it may also, for example, if 2 double bond equivalent is equal to 1 triple bond, right? This is how you have to interpret the result that you are getting out of this formula, right? Calculate, this is calculated using molecular formula, especially carbon and hydrogen. There are several methods to get this double bond equivalent, but I don't like to confuse you with several formula, and therefore I think that where carbon and hydrogen is alone taken, which work with the CnH2n plus 2. Equivalent formula is this: X